The next few lessons will be about destructuring assignment. This is a special syntax for neatly assigning values taken directly from an object to a variable. So look at this object here. We have this object with three elements. We have the x, y, and z with their values, and it's all in the voxel variable. So if we wanted to take each individual element in this object and assign it to its own variable, this is the old way of doing it. So you could do voxel.x, this stores x, voxel.y stores y, voxel.z this stores z. Now with destructuring, there's a simpler and quicker way to assign variables for each element in an object. So here's the destructuring syntax right here. This time, we are creating variables a, b, and c and assigning them to the values from the object x, y, and z. We can see we put in curly braces here and we just say it equals the object, it equals voxel. You can read it like this: get the field of x and copy into the value a. So get the field of x from the object, copy into the value a. Get the field of y from the object, copy into the value b. Get the field of z, copy it into the value c. So this is just a quicker way of assigning things from an object into variables. Now we're going to use destructuring to obtain the average temperature for tomorrow from the input object average temperatures. So we have average temperatures. It has today and tomorrow's temperatures. And then the average temperature is inputted into this function here. So I'm going to change this line here to use destructuring and destructure the average temperatures object here that's passed into this function. So first I'm just going to put the average temperatures variable here. And then on this side of the equal sign, I'm going to have to use the destructuring. So I'll put the curly braces and we'll put tomorrow and the colon and then the other curly brace. So this is saying get the tomorrow field from the average temperatures object and assign it to the temp of tomorrow variable. So if we run this, we should see it says 79 in the console because we got the temp of tomorrow variable, we returned temp of tomorrow, and it was logged right here. So we successfully used the structuring to get the tomorrow variable out of average temperatures. We can also use destructuring assignment to assign variables from nested objects. We have this nested object right here, the local forecast, and inside we have some nested objects. So we have the forecast from today and the forecast from tomorrow. So here we have get max of tomorrow, where we're going to pass in the forecast. And here we can see the local forecast becomes the forecast variable. And we're trying to figure out the max of tomorrow. So we are going to use destructuring to figure that out. So it's going to equal forecast. And remember that is a nested object. So here, when you're destructuring, you're always going to use the curly braces. And we are first going to get tomorrow. And on the other side of the colon, we're going to have some more curly braces because it's nested. So we need to go inside of the tomorrow object, and we need the max. So we'll do max, and then we have the colon and max of tomorrow. Now we need two sets of squiggly braces here. So we have this one and this one. And so we've destructured two times, and the variable is max of tomorrow. So we've set the max that was inside tomorrow to max of tomorrow. So if I run this, you'll see it's 84.6. You can use destructuring assignment to assign variables from arrays. Look at this example here. So we have this array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're assigning the variables z and x to the first two numbers of the array, 1 and 2. The difference between destructuring from arrays and destructuring from objects is that you cannot specify which element from the array to go into a variable. It just goes in order. However, if we wanted number 4 to go into a variable, we could just do like this. We would just add some commas. So we put a comma with nothing in it, like that. Two commas in a row, and I'll put a Y here. So now we have the first element, the second element, we skip the third element, and then we have the fourth element. So if I console.log z, x, and y, we should see 1, 2, and 4. Here's another thing you can do. You can use destructuring of arrays to switch the places of variables. Let me uncomment out these. And what I'm going to do is use destructuring to switch the places of A and B. So it'll be like this. I'll say A, B, and I'll say equals B, A. So now it's just taking this and switching the places. So instead of A being 8 and B equals 6, it's now going to log out 6 and 8. So let's see. Yep, it worked. We can use destructuring assignment with the rest operator to reassign array elements. We can see in this example, we have this array, the digits 1 through 10 in the array, and we have this remove first two function. We're calling it here, and we're passing in the source, that's the source array, and it becomes the list. So we want to return the array with the first two elements removed. So let's use the rest operator inside an array here. So we'll use the rest operator, the three little dots, and to remove the first two, I just have to put two commas here with nothing in between them. So it's saying do nothing for the first element, do nothing for the second element, everything else put into the R variable. We could have assigned the first two numbers in the array to two other variables. So I could do A, B, and then A would be 1, B would be 2, and then R would be an array of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But right now, we just need to return the array with the first two elements missing. So if I run that, you'll see that we did that. If you look in the console, we've logged the array and the first two elements are missing. And then we have the original array down here. You can use the structuring assignment to pass an object as a function's parameter. Let me show you what I mean. Right now we have this half function, and it's getting the stats argument. So the stats is being passed when it's called down here, and it's passing in this whole object, so this whole stats object. But you can see within this function, we're only using stats.max and stats.min. So instead of passing the entire stats into this function, we can just pass in what we need. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put in some curly braces here and just put max and min. So now when stats get passed in, it's destructured into just the max and min variables, and the max and min from the function gets passed in. So now instead of doing stats.max, we can just do max, and instead of stats.min, we can do min. So if we reload that, it's going to work exactly like it did before, but now we only pass in what we need. This is commonly used with API calls. When you are getting information from an AJAX request or an API request, it will often have a lot more information than what you need, and you can use destructuring to get it down to what we actually want to work with.